Okay, so we're in the interior, and I'm trying to figure out a way to route this sub. Not route it, but mount this sub. I have the sub that's down here. It's the kicker sub. You can see right there. It's in the back. It takes up a lot of space. It's not in there very secure. Anybody could just kind of pull and rip on it and take it out. So what I think I'm going to do is pull out this center console sub. The center console subwoofer that's in here is a 6.5 inch. I'm going to pull the console out. I'm going to take this sub out with the box and see if I can't find a box that will fit in here in its place, and try and put a shallow mount 8 in there. So we'll see what happens. But turns out the backs are Torx. Didn't know until I cleaned all that nastiness out of there, but I used Torx 27 and pulled them out. The front is a 10 millimeter. So now I got this out. It's completely loose. I think now I got to reach up in there and take out the unhook that cable there. Let's see what we can do to get that out of there as well. And then we can lift this completely up and out of the way. It looks like we can lift it up here. There's the cable. We're going to take that out, but you can see some spiders have been making a home in here. So once we get that cable out, we can pull the console completely out, take off these press pins here, and remove the sub from the console itself and see if we can get a box to fit inside of that. Okay, so like I said, get the console out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these pins that are holding this sucker on. Right here is a press pin. You can see you just got to get under there and pry that out. And there's one over here on this side. And you got to take the screws out of here to remove the sub from the console itself. Okay, in addition, you've got some screws, 2 Phillips screws right here and right here inside the console to release the sub. So take those out. Okay, and the sub comes out of the center console, just like that. There it is, in all its blown glory. You can see completely shot, but gonna be replaced. So you see here what it looks like this. This is the Pioneer sub box. It says Pioneer on top, which is okay. This is the box for it right here. You can see UDSW 200D. Okay. This is what it looks like. So a shallow mount sub will fit in here. We just need to make this fit inside of the center console. So let's try it out. Sub box, we're gonna face it this way. So then we slide the console over top of it. These 2 pieces here will push the subwoofer away from the plastic console. So here's the sub. Let's see if the console fits over top of it. Just about a little bit taller than the stock subwoofer, I think. But we may be able to make it work. Let me see the differences here. What's the problem? Yeah, it's no higher than that box, so that can't be the reason. I see. This right here. So this is your culprit right here. This box, the stock subwoofer box, has an inset in it for the console that this box does not have. You can see there. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to rig something up, but I think it's gonna work. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out the bottom of this box right here, okay? Cut the bottom of that out, raise the floor up a little bit, and we'll use the CD cassette ledges here to place a plate on top of that so that it doesn't interfere with the subwoofer box. I think if we do that, then we're gonna have plenty of room in there to fit this subwoofer box in there. Let's see here what we got. You can see that there, that's the problem right here. So we'll just cut this small little piece out right here to give us enough room to fit this console or this subwoofer box inside of it right there like that. Okay, just like that. you can see I got the 8-inch box, shallow mount box in the console. I got the console mounted down. It's in there pretty secure. What I did is I cut the floor out of the console here, and now what I'll do is I'll lay a hard piece of plastic across here and here. I'll cut it to fit in this little section here so that it'll sit down in there nice and tight. But you can see here's the box in here. So I'm wondering if I could screw in here, put a screw there and a screw here into the sub underneath, and that way it'll hold it a little bit better. But I mean, it's in there pretty good. I just need to put the console floor in, put the sub in there, which I still need to order, and then wire it up. So I think it'll work. I think it's going to work just fine. This still works, doesn't get in the way. And that's what I think I'm gonna let it roll like that. All right, so here we are out in the garage. My kicker subwoofer came in. This is the 8-inch kicker subwoofer Comp RT. The actual model number is right here. See it? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it up and put it in the shallow mount box that we have here, just to make sure that it fits. And if it fits, then I'm gonna see about trimming off the legs here of this subwoofer box. The reason why is because it's a little bit thick right here for me inside of the console. So I'm gonna try and see if I can trim it down a little bit, and then see about getting it fit in there better. So, moment of truth. Oh yeah, fits in there nice. Yeah, fits in there nice, just like that. I'll screw it down in a minute. But as you can see here, there's a little bit of space, not much, so I may not be able to trim any of this down. I'll try it in there just like this to see what it's like first, and then I'll see about adjusting it at any. Here is minimum airspace sealed is going to be 0.20, okay? This box is a 0.15 box, so it's a little bit small for this subwoofer. Not a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up using this polyfill right here, and I'll put inside the box. It'll slow down the volume, or increase the volume of the box to slow down the sound waves. And I can put this here and adjust it around the edges, and it'll make the box seem bigger to the sub than it actually is, okay? So I'll just fill that in there. There we go. And that way I can just drop the sub right in here, and the sub will think that it's in a bigger box than it actually is. Okay. Now I gotta wire it. I'm gonna get to wiring this sub, okay? What I'm gonna end up doing is I'm actually gonna do a positive right here, and we're gonna attach it to the negative terminal on this side, okay? So we're gonna take this wire out, gonna trim it. We're gonna wire this to the negative side. Now what I'm doing here, this is two 1 ohm voice coils, okay? So what I need to do whenever I'm wiring this is I'm actually trying to wire it to where it's going to double the power, okay? Because I'm gonna have a 2 ohm load coming in. This is a 1 ohm load woofer, okay? So I need to wire it this way, and then coming in from the box itself, I need to wire the negative and the positive, okay? The way that it is here. So it'll be negative to this side and a positive to this side. What that's gonna do is it's gonna allow me to use my 2 ohm load amp and push the 300 watts to this dual voice coil, 1 ohm per voice coil subwoofer, okay? So I'll just wire it in like that, place it in the box and screw it down. Okay, so we have the woofer in the box right here, and I'll show you the way that it's wired. You've got your positive and your negative going to those right there. You've got your negative and positive attached with the one wire here, and that's going to provide me a 2 ohm load. So I'll go ahead and place it down into here, and I will use the provided screws and screw it into the box itself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So you have a kicker 8-inch shallow mount subwoofer in your console. Again, I'm going to cut out a piece of plastic to fill into this section here on top of the cassette bars, and that way it'll provide me a false floor for the console. But it's in. It's tight. It's not going anywhere. You can see I'm wiggling it here, and it's in pretty good. So now I just got to wire it up, wire the amplifier, and see if it works. Now again, it provides plenty of flex here from the sub to the edge of the console. So. All right, we're back again, and in all honesty, it's another couple of days, in fact a week since the first part of this video. I had to order some parts and pieces. I went on vacation. Those parts and pieces are back in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take off these doors, take off the top, because as you can see outside, it is a beautiful, beautiful day. So take off the top and the doors, but we do have some parts and pieces to install today. I'll show you what we got in. So we got in this kicker amp right here, okay, that's going to push the subwoofer that we have in the console, okay. This is a small, compact amp that we're going to use to push that. This here is also a couple little tiny parts and pieces to customize the Jeep a little bit more. Some Jeep valve stem caps there and a keychain. Also here, this is a big part that I was looking for. This is for the soft top, okay? This is for a newer soft top. This is from Best Top. Now this here, I don't need this bracket, okay? What I really needed was this here retention pin. And I'll show you the reason why. Because up here on my soft top, I was missing the pin, okay? But now I have the pin here, okay? I can just put it in here. And hopefully I can secure this right there to where I can actually use it like the pin that's over here on this side that you see right there, okay? And that holds the top up for the Sunrider feature. So I'll see if I can't rig a way to put this in there and keep the retention in there for this, and then we'll have this secure for our Sunrider. Now we got the doors and the top off. Now I need to unmount this 10-inch big huge box here and figure out a way to mount this little kicker amp. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put it up here underneath the seat, underneath the driver's seat right there. I'm gonna try. Okay, so what does this amp actually contain in it? Let's open the box here. Got a kicker certified power certificate, looks like here. Total watts 474. Look how tiny this thing is. I mean, it is super tiny. Look at that, look how small that is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of throw it in here and test fit it. It's gonna have to go this way for sure. And I'm coming to some issue there. It's hitting up against something there. Don't really want to put it that way. It's too noticeable, I think. So we'll have to see where else we can put it. I've worked out a way to make this happen. So what I did was, instead of putting it in the front, I put it in the back of the seat there. And it fits in there just absolutely perfect, as you can see there. Doesn't come into contact with any issue things. Right here you've got a clip or a bracket that we might be able to take out. I'm not even sure what that's for, but the amp fits in there nice and perfect. It's hidden, it's up underneath. I may be able to actually raise it up off the floor a little bit with some rubber spacers, but it doesn't cause any issue whatsoever when we put the seat back. Right there. It's not visible from the side, which is even better. The whole point of this was to make things as concealed as possible so that I didn't have this big old sub back here just begging to be taken and theft occur on this Jeep. So I think what I have there is gonna work very, very well. We got the sub removed out of the back. We got the wires rerouted. They're no longer here on the floorboard. They're underneath here and under this console. You can see I have them in this wire loom right here. And then I have the sub hooked up with the amp just to test it. I have all this pile of wires, and that's all going to get cut back. I'm not going to use that many wires, obviously, but I just want to test out the amp and the sub. All right, we got everything dialed in there. We got the power, the negative, the remote, everything wired to the speaker. So let's turn on this and see what kind of power we get. Okay, now I've got the wires hidden. I've even got the amp hidden here. I've got the amp secured down. Put this little foam pad underneath to give it some flex there, some vibration flex. But all the wires are routed up underneath this. Even the amp is hidden by the carpet. Now, I am going to be doing some spray liner in this, so this carpet's going to come out and everything, but for now, that's how it sits. So we're going to put the console down on top of the sub. And before I do that, though, again, I want to test it out, make sure it works, and then I'll put the console down on top, button it all back up, and put the console back in, the faceplate back in, the bezel, and then we'll be done. And there's the final result. You got your kicker and a sub in there. And you got your amp under here. Now, I'm not going to be able to play any music because of copyright laws and whatnot, but it does work. It does sound phenomenal. Highly, highly recommended. I had a 10 in the back before. Since the 10 was all the way in the back here, as you see now, plenty of room. Remove the 10-inch kicker sub, put in the 8-inch kicker sub, but the 8-inch is right underneath your arm, okay? So it sounds a lot better and a lot more bass, to be honest with you, in my opinion. As you can see, I still need to put the floor in there. Not a big deal. I'll get a piece of plastic, hard plastic, to do that, but really happy with how this turned out. I'm impressed with the sound quality of the sub, and then also we have the previous owner's Rockford Fosgate speakers that are in there. I'm not exactly sure which Rockford Fosgate speakers they are. I'm not taking them out, but they're in there. So we got that done. We got the clip piece here, the retaining pin done. I took the doors off, got the mirrors on, and we got the Jeep logo valve stems on. So again, take a look at the tire. Now the tire, if you look at my other videos, I didn't have this all the way back. I was able to move this back to that furthest back hole and tighten it down. What I also ended up doing, thanks to some of your recommendations, is I got me a third brake light right there. Drilled a hole in the backing plate. I think it's a 2 3/8 inch hole. Got this at the local parts store at AutoZone. Put this in there. I think it was like $19. Put that in there. It works phenomenal for the backup light, for the brake light. So you can see there how it looks. Very happy with how this Jeep's turning out. A lot more videos to come. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like this video down below, and please leave a comment. Your comments are greatly appreciated. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.